everyone, welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We've got our new fortification. We got to hang out with Dragon Age 2 us, because he's over there. I think it's time to go ahead and go inside. Oh yeah, we also got Colas, our final party member. So I think we're ready to do the next part of this. Yeah, we gotta find the warden. Did I talk to any of them? I don't think I did. So actually, we're not done here.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Sister Liliana, as per your request, I have made a thorough examination of the fresco adorning the rotunda. I first attempted to clarify its intent with Messer Solus. Forgive me, I know he is not titled within the structure of the Inquisition, but the more I learn of his experience, the more awkward I feel not using a formal honorific. On the mural, all Messer would say is, Skyhold is her fortress, meaning of course the Inquisitor. These are her actions. He is, of course, correct. The subject of each edition is self-evident. On the medium and method, it is elven fresco, pigment, and plaster, and it is grand. I have rarely been privileged to observe such skill as it is applied. It is considered with long periods of study before the image emerges whole cloth, and with certainty it speaks of how I imagine elves view the world and the measured nature of their step. I should expect such competence from Messer, given his probable years of study, but it is still an amazing work, demonstrating an art with few living practitioners even among the Dalish. Archivist Benon. Double check here. Yeah.
Hello.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your anchor, as Corypheus calls it, allows you some control over the breach. That suggests it was deliberate.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
The attack was unexpected. We're all rattled.
I'm not rattled. I'm the hero of this tale.
Then why isn't Corypheus after you?
Good point. Does that make me a lackey? That's dangerous work. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters, a dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
Why does that make you angry?
Because the Imperium is my home. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no, it was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You didn't do anything. Those men did. 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me, whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That's not why I'm doing this.
I knew there was something clever about you. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death, but long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi, but I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter, then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
Oh, that's rather interesting. Does he know that?
No, he doesn't. And he shouldn't. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such hopes for him. Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more.
Interesting. I believe I know something about that. I just can't remember how, if it's revealed in this or not, or if it's extra material outside of this game.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve and assist to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Maeve?
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Not optimal, given the facilities. Skyhold should be improved, or our efforts will continue to suffer.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Okay, so we leveled up from turning in research. Hell yeah. Which means that's gonna change up where we're gonna go. Because now I kind of want to go back to the Follow Mire now that we have that set up. We also have the western approach to look into. So we'll see. We have a few options here.
Ooh, Inquisitor! Greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Inquisitor, I was not expecting a visit. You had little interest in speaking to me privately before. But as dear Josephine says, it's never too late to make a friend. Right. Especially since we lost so many at Haven. You noticed my exchange with the commander? The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this. We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame. I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven. More likely, they would have stayed out there, died, and we would have lost Haven anyway. You don't know that. Their lives could have bought Haven a small chance. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives. Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter. Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus... We're better than Corypheus.
Sister Liliana will want access to the birds.
Alright, now we've talked to everybody. Which means now it's time to go to the war table and plan out what we're gonna do next. I think we're gonna hit the western region. Kind of just go from there.
it was abandoned when we arrived, who named this place Skyhold?
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced.
I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
Our shipment of resources from the hinterlands has arrived. Da 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 da. Valamire resources. Commander, a lot of mages just showed up. I hope they're friendlies, because if they're not, we're in trouble. Captain Ryland. Enhanced amulet of magic gained from that. Hell yeah.
Are you all right, Leliana?
Are you?
I suppose not. Haven was trying.
Now that you're in charge, there's something I thought I'd bring up. There are Venatori mages out there lurking in the wilderness. This comes as no surprise to you, since you can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of Corypheus's minions. But these particular Venatori have additional significance to myself. For one, I know them personally. I would call them friends, except that would imply I didn't want them dead, which I do. Since I have an idea of where they might be, thanks to an investigation I began before coming south, I thought we could put our heads together and track them down. At which point they would sneer something at you and to Venter, and you would be forced to kill them. Which makes everyone happy. You for eliminating a potential threat, me for eliminating men and women too stupid and short-sighted to be permitted continued breath. They would be less happy, but who cares about them? Up to you, my Lady Inquisitor, Dorian.
Let's see what we have.
Ambassador, let's see. Yeah. Ambassador Monteliad. Although we have not always seen eye to eye, I believe that on this subject we will be in perfect agreement. I would like to build a monument at the site where Haven stood, as a memorial to all those who gave their lives defending the faith. Shall we work together to honor these fallen heroes, Madam Ambassador? Marquis du Rayon.
All right.
Back to that when we can afford to do it cheaper. You know what? Nah, we'll do it now. A formal document with impeccable filigree. It is time. The Inquisitor commands a small kingdom. It is time to exercise the weight of her influence. There remains uninvolved and uncommitted lords and ladies, bands and earls where they could not be engaged with plight or passion. They can be compelled through mercenary means, but there must be a display. Make it known that the Inquisition has weight and the boons, and the dispensations of the powerful will be open to you. Thereafter, she need not curry influence. She can simply buy it. The esteemed Forest, the representative.
Inquisitor?
Alright, now I want to go check some stuff out. I think the western reaches over this way. Western approach, yeah. Commander Colin. Scouts are reporting a number of travelers entering the western approach. Surprising, since the place is a blighted desert with no trade routes. More surprising, no one is leaving. It bears investigating. Captain Knight Ryland. Or Knight Captain Ryland, sorry. Commander, we've established a foothold in the western approach, per orders. Already one skirmish with the Venatori, but no casualties. Requesting reinforcements. The term blighted desert doesn't do this place justice. Lieutenant Harding. Alright. Alright, let's go. Oh wait, we got our new mage. Hold on.
Inquisitor, welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Alright, well. That's a bad sign for us because we might be in the wrong place. Because we might be under-leveled, but we're gonna find out. Wait, Cole, you're not a mage? Oh, you're a rogue.
This might interest you, sir.
What is it?
This may be worthwhile.
Okay, well, in that case, sorry, Sarah. I thought he was a mage. Oh, yeah, it even says rogue. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Oops. Let's get Vivian an iron bowl. Oops. I'm dumb. Things we can explore here. And I guess we'll just find things as we go. So let's go ahead and go for that Fade Rift right there. And we'll see how high of a level this area is and if we need to go back somewhere else. Okay, we're on par with where we should be. We're not going somewhere too high level. That was my main concern, honestly. now? Why is it still following me? Just slowly get things.
Someone's been busy. Let's find them, shall we?
Someone is missing a teapot, papers, and little biscuits.
What happened here?
A long road, stumbling through the rocks, struck from behind.
That's a lot of bodies.
A lot of red lyrium. Lewis, S says, get the Templars whatever they want. No questions asked. So stop asking. They want refugees and travelers, we get them, Marius.
That's a lot of carts. Why are they even out here?
Because they're collecting stuff. Can't you tell? That's it for this cavern. Ah, of course there's the entrance. See what's in this half of the cave. Benedict, pull up stakes. All plans for the mine and the western approach are off. The Inquisition's on the move and headed your way. Dump all the bodies and relocate to Empress de Lyon. Vernon. So they've already shipped out of here.
The
So
song never sang for them. They were lucky.
There. I think we did here. Aha. Oh, we're level 12s now. That's right. My brain almost forgot that. We'll have to come back to that in a second. That's interesting. We'll come back to this. We're gonna go back in there and go back out the way we came, so we can continue exploring kind of the edges of the map, and we'll kind of find our way back down. like there was a quest marker this way. Looked like somebody was out there wanting our help. Of course, we will accept. Old Chantry trail signs. The Chantry used these symbols long ago to mark trails to hidden locations. They are often mistaken by passerbys as simple carvings in the rocks and in the rock and trees.
A chantry symbol out here. Odd.
Interesting. Thanks for the rocks. Okay. No, we gotta keep going. If we're gonna find a way to that. Seems we gotta go a little bit further around. Myself into a little bit of trouble here, probably. Oh, nope, we made it work. Aha! Take that, video game. Might have to take a horsey. Faster. Whoa. Oh yeah, we got a couple things here. We might want to go on foot for a little bit here. Might be. No clue.
The trail leads on.
Visitors? Thank the Maker. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone. Have you come to observe the wildlife too?
I think I found your supplies. A dead man out in the desert had these on him.
Dead? Blessed Andraste. What about Marcus or Jeannette? This is terrible news. I am Frédéric of Serrault, foremost researcher of draconology in Orlais. I came here with an expedition from the university. But the others are all missing, and our work has been halted. White Claw raiders have made off with much of our supplies. You will help me reclaim the equipment, will you not? You will champion the advancement of science.
I have the supplies you were waiting for right here.
But... some of our equipment is still missing. If you happen to find more of it, please let me know.
The rest of your team went missing, and there are raiders all over the area. Should you be here alone?
I don't know what happened to the rest of the expedition, but the raiders have left me completely undisturbed. I have also seen Grey Wardens and strangers in odd black clothing, but they all ignore my presence completely.
You're a scholar. What can you tell me about this region?
The Western Approach is a remarkable place, as you are no doubt aware. Many magnificent creatures make their home here. Varghasts, dragons, phoenixes. They thrive where few others can. The land was poisoned by the Second Blight. The Warden Fortress has stood since that time. Before the Blight, the ancient Imperium ruled here. Actually, I saw some Tevinters recently. Studying the runes, perhaps.
Tell me about yourself.
I am a professor at the University of Orlais. I have made it my life's work to write the definitive monograph on the hunting habits of dragons and their closest kin. On this trip alone, I have produced 20 scrolls of notes. More scholarship than has ever been done on the Southern Varghast. But my hope, my great ambition, is to observe the abyssal high dragon taking her prey. A sight no scholar has ever recorded.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Who paid the bandits to leave Frederick alone?
That is an interesting question, and an interesting way to think about that. Because obviously, like, yeah, they should be attacking him. Right? Like, realistically, there should be no reason they're not going after him. But obviously they are leaving him alone, so here we are.
This is big. Doesn't look like Vince built it. Who was out here?
the free rocks. Losers. Thanks for the rocks. Well, stone, but, you know. We're being goofy silly about it. Ooh, that's a drop. That's a drop. I looked away for a second, thought I was turning correctly, and I almost jumped. I almost fell. I almost died. Is that it? Is that all that's out here from these guys? Dang, they suck. Figured they'd have a little more on them. Following.
The end must be nearby.
Yep, I guess it's that one. Everything looking spooky that way. Oh gosh. We're not gonna have time to do it this time. So, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is the link down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord link down below to become part of our community. And I will see you all next time, where we'll deal with whatever is down here. Have a good one. Bye.